Welcome back to Voyager 14, and what's up everyone? We're gonna take a look at another figure from the Transformers the movie, even though it's not a Studio Series figure, but it's very prominent in Transformers 86 the movie, and we're taking a look at Siege Cybertron SPRINGER. And this guy's a triple changer, and although he's been released for a long time already, it's time to revisit because it's the first time I got this figure, and I'm very excited to take a look at this. So let's check his packaging. So here's the packaging for Siege or for Cybertron SPRINGER, and as you can see, that awesome artwork on the Siege figures that's been on all of their packaging, which I really love. And if it's your first time here, click on the subscribe button and click on the bell icon so you can be notified of any new updates, new videos of my channel. Give this video a thumbs up and all the good stuff. And now back on with the video. And this is a Voyager class, and you have the Autobot symbol, Warfare Cybertron logo over there, and then Transformers. And you have the regular Siege Warfare Cybertron artwork on all the packages. Then not much on the bottom. And then you have the product shots for Springer, and as you can see, he transforms into 3 modes. 25 steps for this one, 26 steps for this one. I'm really excited to get this guy out of the box. One of my favorite characters in the Transformers the movie. So let's check Springer out. So here we got Springer out of the box, and here's what comes with him in the box. So you have instruction sheets. When the Siege Warfare Cybertron line first appeared or came out, the instruction sheets were really big and really awesome, and you can see here they also have names for the weapons. So you have this air slice chopper blade, and then it also has this void blast capacitor, so that's one of his guns, and the other one is a warp blaster. So it comes with 2 guns. And now here is Springer, really awesome figure. And then here is his blaster, as you can see, casted out in this teal plastic. So this one will separate or split into 2 blasters for him, as you can see there. And then you just insert this, so he has a really big rifle. And then he has these rotor blades for helicopter mode as well, which if you pull it out will become 2 blades, so he can have 2 swords to wield in robot mode. So that's really awesome for this figure. You can have his gun here, and then you can have him holding one of his swords on the other hand. If you don't want him to hold 2 swords, you can put it up here, and this will be the spinning thing for the rotor blades in the helicopter. So you can put it here in the back. There are 3 pegs. You can put it in the middle. I prefer to put it here at the side, so that's how it looks like. Or if you don't want it attached, there's also another way to attach this. So you can see these holes will peg into his backpack over here. That's another storage for the weapons in robot mode. So he's a really awesome looking figure, but I have some issues with this guy. So let's take off the weapons. So let's take a closer look at Springer. Taking a look at that head sculpt, I don't think there's light piping. Yeah, there's no light piping for the Springer figure, and you can see he's got a lot of battle damage, because that was the Siege line. They had a lot of battle damage paint on their figures. And then you have that Autobot symbol on his chest. So you have these pegs for the blast effect, so you can stick 1 blast effect here, so it will show like he's getting hit by the Decepticons. So that's the thing with the Siege line. They had, when they introduced this Warfare Cybertron line, there was a lot of playability factors. And you have also pegs here on the side where you can also peg his gun if you want. If that's what you want, you can do that. And then it's got also pegs on the bottom of his feet, which is really awesome. And taking a look at his arms, it's really almost a Studio Series figure. And then you see his arms over here, a lot of awesome details. And then the sculpted details even on the back is really awesome. And then you see his legs, you see there. And then one issue with mine, I don't know, because I I didn't get this when it first came out, so maybe there's a plastic degradation, so the knees are really wobbly on mine, so sometimes they would just fall off like that. And then also on his feet, you can see it's really wobbly on mine, so I have to really pose this in a good pose for him to stand up, or it'll just fall over. But otherwise, this is a pretty awesome figure, really awesome looking one. And let's take a look at this guy's articulation. So for articulation on his head, he can turn 360, then can look up a little bit, look down a little bit. So his shoulders can move forward that far, can move back that far. It's hindered by this hinge over here, so it can't turn around 360 that much. Can move out that far, and then there is a swivel on the bicep, but it's hindered by this wheel. And then you have 90-degree bend on the elbow, and then on the fist it's on a swivel, so it can turn 360. So that's it for the arms. You have a waist swivel as well. No ab articulation, but the feet can kick forward that far, kick backward that far, can do the full splits. And then you have thigh cut, and then as I've mentioned, the legs have more than a 90-degree bend because of the transformation, but it's really wobbly on mine. So if just the knee hinge, it's more than 90 as well. Then you have this extra hinge here for the transformation joint. Then you have that ankle rocker joint and can move up and down as well. So a lot of awesome articulation for this guy. So now we've taken a look at the articulation. It's time we do some size comparisons and take a look on how this guy looks like with the other figures in my collection. There's Springer, and here's Earthrise RC. And then I also have my Siege Ultra Magnus. Ultra Magnus is the leader class, so it's a really big figure, as you can see there. Then I also have the recently reviewed Studio Series Blur. And then I also have the recently reviewed as well Studio Series Cup, so you can see how all of these guys look like in the collection. And of course the movie wouldn't be complete without Grimlock, so let's bring Grimlock into the picture. But this is a masterpiece Grimlock, so it's a pretty big one, as you can see there. And of course let's bring in the bad guys. Here he is with Alicon, and then here he is with the Quintesson Master as well. So you have all the Transformers 86 movie figures that I have in my collection. So now we've taken a look at Springer with all the other Transformers in the 1986 movie. It's time we take a look at Springer's transformation. So let's transform Springer into his car mode, and the first thing that we do is untap his chest, so you can bring it up. And then on the back of the figure, you see there's two tabs here and then another tab here. It's tabbed into this teal part, so you can pull back the backpack. So you untab that one. So once it's untabbed, both arms can fold down. So once the arms are folded down, you see on the back part of Springer, you pull this up and then you unfold this part, and then you just fold it down again, and this will tab into the back of a fist. Do the same thing on the other side. Pull this up, and then turn this down, and then tab it into the fist like that, so both arms are good. And then on the chest part, pull this open, then you unfold these two parts, then you turn around his head and you can lift this up so you can cover the top of his head. And then the back part, you fold it up and push it forward, so the lower part of his chest, or the upper part of his chest, will just slide into here, will form the front part of the vehicle. Then you just push it up and straighten it out. And then for the feet, we open the side of, we untap the sides of his legs, and then we bring out the little wings. Same thing on the other side. Bring out the little wings for the car mode. Then once you have that, you just fold up his feet like this, so they should stay tabbed in. Then you can tab both feet together, and once you have that tabbed in, fold it up on this joint, and then it should look like this. And then once you have that in place, so these two heels will come into these parts over here. Should slide over, so you push this part, so this part will come there, and then these tabs will just tab into the slots over here. So the last part for the car mode would be the arms. So if you can see here, there's a tab here, there's a hole here which this tab will tab into, so you just push it into this front part of the car, and then you should line up that tab, so when it's straight, you can see here, it will slot into that tab. So if you have everything lined up, it should squeeze into like that. So that's the one part, and then let's do it on the other side again. Once you have it lined up, it will just tab, as you can see. So just squeeze it together, and the last part would be this part. So you see there's two tabs which will slot into these slots over here. So you just push it down. Again, you can hear the click, and now you have Springer and his sports car or Cybertronian race car mode, and this guy really looks awesome. And now that we've got Springer in his race car mode, he also has options for weapon storage, and as you can see here, his weapons combined will be called the Mega Missile Launcher. So how we do that is combine both guns into the big rifle, and then you have the rotor blade spinner, and then you have the two blades, which you see the holes here will tab into the sides here of the gun. So you just attach both swords, peg it on the top of the rotating rotors, and then you peg it on top, which will give him a rotating turret for the gun. Or if you don't want to the rotating thing on there, you can still put the gun on top of the vehicle. Or if you don't want the swords attached, you can attach it as well here on the sides. Just like in the robot mode, you have these two slots, and that would be storage for the weapons in vehicle mode. That's it for the sports car mode, my favorite mode for Springer. And before we transform Springer into his helicopter mode, it's time to show him with some other figures from the movie. Blur, and you have Ultra Magnus, and we have also my Titan's Return Cup. Here is Siege Skywarp in his Tetrajet mode. And now it's time to transform Springer into his helicopter mode. So now let's go to helicopter mode, and the first thing we do is you untab the top of the cockpit, so you take it up, and then you also untab these two sides, which are the arms. So once you have them untabbed, untab this top part, and then you can fold down the arm, and then this part you pull up, and then you push out, so you can see there. Then you twist this one around, and this will have a sort of a small wing for the helicopter mode. Once you have that pulled up, you can tab the top part again to the back of his fist, so you just have this small wing for the helicopter mode. Same thing on the other side, so you have the side wings like that now. And then you unhinge the back part of the vehicle, so pull it back down again. So once you have both legs untabbed, you just push this out, and then these sides you can untab. Just pulls out like this, and then you twist this part around so that this will be showing, and then you just fold the leg back in, and then you untab this part, which will extend to form the rear rotor blade and then the rear fin of the helicopter, and do the same thing on the other side. Turn this thing around and then fold it back in, then you untab this part, and then these two parts in the middle, so you let the two legs split together, and then you can untab the middle part like this, and both parts you can combine and peg together. Make sure they both line up. So you see there's a tab here, and then there's tabs here as well, and then there's tabs here, so you can tab in both legs together as well as the rear fin like that. Then these just fold in like this and snap into place. Same thing on the other side, fold in like this, fold in like this, and then snap underneath the helicopter. The arms, instead of the slot here on the side tabbing into this tab, this time it will tab into this part over here. So you just push it down, then tab it in, that part, and then you see there's a tab, and tab into that slot on the side of the arm, so you can see it here. That will slot into the tab. Just fold it in like that, then you tab the arm, and then line it all up together like that. It should tab in if it's all lined up. And then the last part for the helicopter mode, see these two slots, it'll slot into the holes over here on the top. So you just fold it down and you just press the top part, and it should tab into the cockpit. And for the final part of the transformation is you have the two blades, you insert them in a rotating accessory, and you just tab it here, and you have Springer in his helicopter mode, and the rotors really spin freely. It's really awesome, so you can see that. Then for weapon storage, you have these two guns, so you have options on where to put them. Mine is just here at the sides, so that's how Springer's gonna look like, all weaponized and really looking awesome as well in this helicopter mode. A really great helicopter mode for Springer. And for size comparisons, let's bring them again. Blur Studio Series, then we have the Titan's Return Cup as well, Ultra Magnus Leader Class. So you can see there that Ultra Magnus is a really big vehicle, and Springer is a Voyager class. Still looks awesome. That's been my review for the awesome Siege Warfare Cybertron Voyager Springer. Awesome triple changer. Robot mode, I have problems just because the loose joints and all that stuff. But then transformation, there's no problem from robot to vehicle modes. But going back to robot mode is a bit finicky. So we have the Studio Series Cup, and then I also have RC. So which of the following figures have been your favorite from the Studio Series or from the Transformers 1986 movie? Comment in the comment section below. So this has been BobaChuck14. Thank you guys again for hanging out with me, and as always, give this video a thumbs up, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't, and as always, celebrate life, be a miracle.